This is Course 2, Lesson 6.2, Fractions, Decimals, and Percents. By the end of this lesson, you are going to be able to convert between fractions, decimals, and percents. You're going to need your foldable that you made in class for reference today as we go through this lesson. So you're going to look at your foldable and write each fraction as a percent, and then round the percent to the nearest tenth of a percent. So before we can change a fraction to a percent, we need to change a fraction to a decimal. So what we're going to do is, if you remember in your foldable, to get a fraction, change a fraction to a decimal, you have to divide the numerator by the denominator. So on your calculator, you're going to divide 3 by 8, which is equal to 0.375. Then to change a decimal into a percent, you move the decimal 2 places to the right. So we're going to move that decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2, the decimal moves now in between the 7 and the 5. So it's 3, whoops, put my decimal in the wrong place, 37.5%. Okay, let's look at example number 2. We want to change 1/5 into a percent. So the first thing we're going to do is take the numerator and divide it by the denominator, which is 0.2. We're going to move the decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Now to hold that decimal place out there, we have to fill in these loops, and we have to fill that in with a 0. So 1/5 is equal to 20%. The next one, write each decimal as a percent. So just like back here, to go from a decimal to a percent, we're going to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So the number 0.06, we move the decimal 2 places to the right. So 0.06 is equal to 6%. Number 2, we move the decimal 2 places to the right. Now it's between the 3 and the 2. So it's 53.2%. Remember to look back at your foldable if you get confused or you forget what you need to do. Whoops. Write each percent as a decimal. So to change a percent, to go from a percent back to a decimal, you're going to move the decimal 2 places to the left. So in 4%, we move the decimal 1, 2. The decimal point now is right here. To fill in that loop, we put a 0, so it's equal to 0.04. Now, a common mistake that a lot of people make is they just think that the decimal point is going to go right in front of the first number, but it's not that way. You have to move the decimal point 2 places to the left. So in 34.3%, we move the decimal 2 places to the left, so it's 0.343 as a decimal. Write each percent as a fraction in simplest form, which means you just reduce the fraction. Now the percent sign means out of 100. So whatever number that is, 18%, you write the 18 in the numerator, and you're going to put 100 in the denominator. And then you need to reduce it. So they're both even numbers. I know that I can divide by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. and that is in simplest form. So 18% is equal to 9/50ths. 72% means 72 out of 100. And we can divide each of these by 2 because they're even numbers. And we get 36 out of 50. And then we can divide by 2 again. And we get 18 over 25. And that is as simple as we can, it's as much as we can reduce it. So 72% is equal to 18/25. That's all. If you have any questions, bring them to class tomorrow. Thanks and have a great day.